Okay. Andrew, please call the roll. Oh, wait, where's the, I don't have the, this,
Here, not here.
this, there you go. Okay, thank you. This meeting, I'm like a trained animal. I just look at the red stuff. This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, and adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as required by law. Certain portions of it may be closed to the public for the purpose of personnel and/or other matters as outlined in the Sunshine Law. Decisions made and/or discussed in closed session will be made known to the public at a later date. Fires is located in the direction that I'm indicating. In case of fire, it will be notified by me via the public address system. If you're alerted for a fire, please move in a calm, orderly manner to the nearest smoke-free exit, or is directed by me over the public address system. Call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Here.
Councilman Johnson.
Present.
Councilman Signorella.
Here.
Councilman Urbina.
Here.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Here.
Councilman Patel.
Here.
Mayor Signorella.
Here.
All present, Mayor.
Opening prayer, pledge of allegiance.
Eternal God, grant us thy help in all our duties and perplexities. We ask for thy guidance. Give us thy protection in our dangers and sorrows. Grant us thy peace. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. There are no communications for review this evening. We do have one certificate. I'd like to call up Councilman Petrosky and Johnson for the American Legion post-60 improvements. Guys, you want to come on up? So I'll let Councilman Petrosky and Johnson talk about this, but in really short, we're very proud to have these guys have come helped out Roselle Park, Adolfo. Come on, you're not coming up? Come on up. Yeah, he's coming up. Come on up. Come on. These guys have gone out of their way to help out an institution, the American Legion here, in their moment of need, and we're very happy and grateful to have them here. But you guys are more point people than me. Greg, Joe P.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. There's been problems at the American Legion with the steps. I've been hearing about it for over 2 years. As a member of the SAL, at the meetings they brought it up and everything. So finally I said, let's get it done. Why we keep talking about it? Let's get it done. So they said, well, we need someone. I said, I got the right man for the job, my friend over here, Adolfo Del Cosmo. I called him the next day and we got the ball rolling right away, okay? With the help of Councilman Greg Johnson, who also was did his service for our country, and I appreciate it every day, and all veterans. Thank you. Same you with Commander. And I'm still touched by your speech that you give every really hits here. But instead of, we kept talking about it, nothing got done. So I finally brought it up. I made the phone call to Adolfo right away. We got the stuff done. He got a hold of the bricklayers, Leroy over here, and his friend Mike. So they came. They looked at the steps. Boom, boom, boom. Picked a date. They did it. Again, Hunter's Supply House over in Roselle on the corner of First Avenue and Locust. Donated all the brick and all the limestone and the cement. So that was a big help to the Legion, and we got it done, and it looks fantastic. Right now, we're just waiting on the railings. For when I was told, and Cosamano is supposed to be doing it, and they're going to donate their time in that, and that's supposed to come next week. So we'll have the steps finally done. Also, we took notice that the painting needed done in the, yeah. So my friend over here made a phone call. We got the painters local to come. They took care of it, and we got it done, and it looks good. Now, my friend over here told me he's going to do it next year, the back.
Yes, I'll do at any point in time.
Okay.
Just give me a call.
But both these guys said anything to do with veterans, they're here. They'll do anything in the world for veterans, which we all appreciate, okay? I'm going to make Councilman Johnson feel think. My famous saying is, we needed them, now they need us. So we need to help them. That's why it's very important, if you want to go down, have a couple drinks, go down there. If you need a whole rental, take care of it. They could use the money, and we're going to do all we can to help the Legion out. So, like I said, I'm so proud. And we're going to get more done next year once the weather gets better. Again, my friend over here, Adolfo, the flooring down the Legion by the bar, that's all going to be redone, hopefully sometime over the winter. And then we'll get more done as to go on. But again, I thank these guys very much. I appreciate everything they did. Again, let's give applause to these guys. Councilman Johnson, you have anything to say?
Yeah, I won't take up too much of everyone's time. I just want to say thank you, Commander. Salute to you. Thank you, Adolfo. And more importantly, I'll be remiss if we forget thank you to you, Joe, because you initiated what we've been conversating for well over 2 years.
Yeah.
So this was always the commander's vision, even prior to me even becoming commander and leaving. And I'm just glad that I'm finally seeing that being facilitated and done. So thank you so much. All the veterans appreciate it. Commander, I don't know if you want to have a few words, but thank you, all you guys. And one more round of applause. Thank you, Joe P., for taking the initiative and organizing this thing. So thank you very much.
Commander, we'll give you can hand out the certificates. Okay. Okay, the first one is Adolfo De Cosmo. And he's upset with me because I told him I wasn't going to give him one.
I didn't want anything because I really didn't do the work. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, but I called my good friends, and when I told them it was for the vets, they came out and they came out real hard, and they came out for me and for the vets, and I appreciate everything that they did for the Legions. Thank you.
Okay, next one is Albert Galvez.
I'm gonna have to accept that for him.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Everybody here about the
Okay.
except for Robert.
Okay, Robert Bruner,
That's me.
that's you. I thought, okay, thank you. Okay, Ebed, back of
That's me.
You can give it to him. Okay. I don't make mistakes. Okay. Okay, Sam Westerman?
That's me.
Okay, yeah.
Paint did you put?
It's not paint, it's the
Prepping,
prepping.
okay.
It was the manpower.
John Orchard?
2 days.
John
That's
Orchard,
me.
okay. Okay, Bryce Benham?
I'll take that one too.
Jared Holsworth?
Yeah, I was gonna say, they're not here.
The problem is they live like really down south, like in Albert.
Even more reason why we appreciate it.
No, that's no problem.
George Matola?
Assume you're going that way, Joe.
Just give me them all.
Okay, I know this ain't you. Okay, Leroy San Pedro? Thank you. From the Bricklayers Union. Mike Fazuzzo?
Fasula, I'll take it.
Fasula?
Yeah, he lives in Ringwood.
Okay. Sal Fema?
That's from Sherman Williams. That's the gentleman.
Okay, I did forget that. Sherman Williams donated all the paint.
Yeah.
So everyone, thank them also. You can give that to them. Okay, Twin Bore Lumber and Supply, I'll take that. Again, they donated all the brick, limestone, oh, you want to? Okay. Okay. And George Ropkin, who is going to donate the flooring. Okay, there's a little quick story. We thought we were going to have to do in 3 different colors, but George called up the Adolfo and said he found over 100 square feet. 1,000 square feet, and it's all going to be one color. So we're very happy about that. Okay. Okay, I want to thank these guys from the bottom of my heart. I wasn't a veteran, but my father was. And so I'm very proud. And, again, veteran, my friend over here, he gave his time to his country, and we thank you for your service. So,
Thank you.
okay. And also over here, our commander.
You guys want to take a quick photo together?
Yeah.
Yeah. Joe Sig Jr., you mind taking a picture?
Again, one last applause for these guys.
Come on, right?
Bye, good night, thank you so much.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve meeting minutes pending any corrections?
So move.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion that bills and payrolls be not read and passed for payment?
So move.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
May I have a motion to open the public portion on agenda items only?
So move.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
If you'd like to come up and speak on agenda items, they may do so now. Nice mustache.
Hi, 231 Sherman Avenue, Joshua Regan. Talking about resolution number 289-24, terminating the employment of Class 2 laborer Eric T. Kennedy. Please, if you have any comments, wait till the end. I'll try to keep this concise. So, many months ago, Eric brought an issue at the yard, issue about health to light, right? He had an issue himself, went out, and he comes back magically, write-ups everywhere. All right, I'm sorry, hypothetically, write-ups everywhere. Right, now from a point of view of someone who is not involved with whatever, it seems very suspicious that magically, oh, this guy pointed something out. He's trying to highlight an issue we have. He wants it fixed. He wants it rectified. Now, it doesn't make any sense from my point of view that now you're magically going to fire him. It seems like he's a whistleblower, and you're going after him, which doesn't seem right. It could lead to a lot of lawsuits for the town, and it's not right because it affects every single one of us. I agree that whatever's right is right. I think that, well, I don't know if there are or are not issues at the yard. I do know it could be improved. I know you guys admitted that many months ago. I don't know exactly how many, but from my point of view and from a lot of other people's points of view, this is what we see. It seems like it's retaliation, right? And it's not right, and it should be fixed, right? There are many things that he does that are very good. I think he's one of the best, hardest working people I've ever met. And I don't understand the reason why you guys are deciding to do this fully, but this is just my 2 cents. Thank you.
Yeah, unfortunately, we can't comment on this because personnel matters need to happen in closed session, and I think that's probably all I could leave it at. Is that right, Joe?
Yeah, but you beat me to it, Mayor. I was just going to explain to the gentleman that, don't take offense, but the board has been advised by me and other council, traditionally, and for good reason, we do not have those discussions about personnels out in the public domain. So it's not a disrespect to anyone or their comments. It is just the rule, so.
Would anybody else like to come up and speak?
Good evening. James Smith, 618 Myrtle Avenue. I also would like to put my disagreement in with termination of Eric Kennedy. It seems because he's a whistleblower, he's going to be fired. Shouldn't be happening. There's issues there. I know from speaking to people that work there, people that work in the town, they're afraid to say anything. I don't work for the town. I have nothing to do with the town except live here, so I will say something. This gentleman works for the town. He sees something wrong. He tries to fix it. Now he's being gone after. And he's being terminated for it. Why? Because he wants to fix something. People are getting sick. People could still be getting sick. And it seems like nobody wants to do anything about it. I understand you can't comment on it, closed session, but as a taxpayer and somebody who lives in the town, I would like to express my disheartenment. Now, when a lawsuit comes out and he sues and possibly wins, gets his job back, the town is going to have to pay money to him. It already happened with the principal that was wrongly fired, and the town had to pay. So now the taxpayers are going to have to pay this out again. It just doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem fair. Maybe something else should be looked into, except firing the guy for trying to do something to better himself and his employees. And that's all I have to say. Have a good night.
Thank you. Just two things to note there. So the principal, I don't know anything about that, so that's a Board of Ed matter, which we don't get involved with. And I do want to make one comment, right? So we have had extensive testing done at the site. We continue to, by, state law and state regulations, have a licensed site remediation professional consistently monitor that site. And we take any concerns very seriously, and we'll continue to address those. And I think that's a broad statement that I think applies to
The facilities, yes.
broadly, yes. Okay, anybody else?
Good evening, Melissa Kennedy, 327 West Lincoln Avenue. I am also speaking on the resolution terminating Eric T. Kennedy. His termination letter states several things that are false. And he has done a lot for this town. And I'm pretty sure I've been told by somebody he works with that Andrew said he wished he had 10 Erics. The clock in town is still not working. Why? Because Eric Kennedy is the only one that really can fix it, right?
I don't know if he has the specific qualifications. I'm pretty sure we brought in a company to fix it at some point, but,
It's still not fixed.
okay.
The workers' comp people had somebody following him, and it states that he was doing other work. None of the pictures in that investigation show him doing work. And they show him maybe moving stuff from one thing to another, but not doing any type of work. He was verbally written up for a fire call. Are you serious? A fire call. He's a fireman. He has never, ever been written up because he was a fireman. But now, because he makes this whistleblower, whatever your guys are calling it, now he's going to get written up for everything. There's also something in there written that he was suspended when he was returned to work. Also not true. He was giving all these notices in November from August date. I think there's a rule that has to be given to him within 2 days of the date of incident. And those were given to him 3 months later. So if you want to continue to waste the taxpayers' money, go right ahead. But other DPW employees who have been terminated have gotten their jobs back several times. So I'm sure Eric Kennedy will be back, and it's just going to cost all of us money. So why do it? And by the way, why does it take so long for sample testings to come back, a 24-hour sample test to come back?
I don't know what sample test you're referring to. Andrew, do we know what, I'm lost here.
It's a total report.
So we undertook a voluntary analysis after concerns were expressed. I'm also frustrated about how long it's taking. I've explained that to Eric, who's inquired about it, and others. It's a total report, right? So some of them are 24-hour air testing. Some of them are way more in-depth than that. I'm not the industrial hygienist. I followed up 3 times today.
And was there any testing done of the dirt up on the top of the hill of the yard?
The whole yard is tested pursuant to state regulations. But the dirt on the top of the hill specifically, I actually don't know what you're referencing.
Yeah, but I think it's important to state for the record for 2 things, right? So we have had site remediation in that site, and per state regulations, we have to have a licensed site remediation professional that monitors this each year. Like, this isn't something that we do this out of compliance. The other thing I'd like to add is, both of these sites have been deemed appropriate by councils way before us to be safe potentially for a senior housing site, by developers saying human beings, retired people can live here, right? I think those are 2 very important things to state for the fact, broadly speaking.
So mold is an okay issue to work in? Would you all go to your jobs with mold?
You were speaking about the land, so I commented on the land.
Yep.
Broadly speaking, I would say if there's issues with the building, we try to remediate them in a timely fashion.
And my final thing is, my husband has helped you several times.
Mm-hmm.
And just because he ran for council,
That is,
you called him and told him, if you run, you will not win.
I don't think that's this is, what I do in my capacity as the Democratic Party chair is totally separate from any of this.
And you, sir, a HIPAA violation going around telling people that his foot broken was a fraud workers' comp case for something that happened at the fire department. And also going around telling that he was in certain facilities for huffing paint cans. How dare you? Do you understand what HIPAA is? Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
I would like to also state as a point of clarification, we have a policy in place. We have several DPW employees, which are volunteer fire department people. We have a policy in place, I believe we put it in place last year,
Yes.
whereby you are obviously encouraged and allowed to go respond to fire calls, but we expect that you inform the supervisor that you are leaving a job site, because it can leave unsafe job sites. We've had situations where people have been left on their own in unsafe situations because we've had people leave for fire calls, and that is the reason, out of abundance of safety for their fellow workers, we require that. And I think, broadly speaking, without speaking about anybody, that is something that we have as a policy for the safety of the Department of Public Works. Full stop. Would anybody else like to come up and speak?
Is this limited to the agenda items? Is there going to be another open public?
There is at the end of the meeting.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to come up and speak about agenda items? I am seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public portion on agenda items only?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to move forward closed session?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, let me read the close. Whereas the mayor and council of the Borough of Roselle Park wishes to discuss matters which are described by the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-12, and whereas the general natures of the subjects to be discussed in closed session are a personnel matter involving the Department of Public Works, whereas the personnel member has been riced, and whereas the time, when, and the circumstances under which the item discussed in closed session will be disclosed to the public at a future time, now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council of the Borough of Roselle Park, County of Union, State of New Jersey, do now adjourn the open portion of the meeting and open a closed portion of the meeting to discuss the aforementioned item.
We're going to go to closed session, and the public will be invited back after the closed session.
So I need a motion on the resolution.
So move.
Second.
All in
Aye.
favor? Yeah.
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you. We can get you a coffee if you need. All right, do I have a motion to go back into, what do I need, a motion to go back into, do I have a motion to reconvene?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes, Mayor, the governing body discussed one matter in closed session, a personnel matter involving the Department of Public Works, whereas an employee was riced, and action will be taken during the regular course of resolutions.
Okay, reports of departments, who do we got? We got Kevin and Rich. Kevin, you want to start? Yeah.
Just pull that closer to you, Kevin. And
There we go.
there you go.
Sorry about that. So I'll be quick, guys. End of the year, not too much to report on. We are moving forward, though, with the stormwater project that we have. We'll be getting discussions with the DOT, going through the right-of-way and what those impacts will be for the piping, but basically what side of the road we're going to be on. But we do anticipate surveying to start in the new year, and then we'll progress into design throughout the summer. During all that, we'll be meeting with the various agencies, DEP, DOT, county, and Army Corps of Engineers. So that's where we stand. We're on track still for meeting the deadlines stipulated in the settlement agreement. So nothing really new to report on that.
Assuming everything goes swimmingly, when are shovels in ground?
So we anticipate to submit for agency approvals towards the end in 2025. Permits will probably take about a year, maybe a year and a half to obtain.
Yeah.
And then the bidding and award and contract process would put that into 2027, probably, beginning of 2027, mid-2027, for construction to start. And we anticipate it going, all the way pretty much to the deadline for about a year of construction.
Anything for Kevin?
Yes, Kevin, I just wanted to say thank you for attending the meeting that we had. I was going to say thank you, but you probably relieved in my normal report. But thank you for sitting with me and Jay and Andrew with trying to narrow down better options for Route 28. We appreciate your level of expertise. Thank you.
Very productive. I look forward to some of those improvements hopefully happening shortly.
Mayor.
Shortly, 2029, yeah, let's say.
Hey,
Shortly in DOT time frame is 5 years away.
I can see the light. It's a train.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a note. Kevin and I spoke about this right before the meeting, and we've kind of been going back and forth on this. So more immediate projects. There's utility work's been done over on West Clay and over in the Walnut Street area. And up kind of on the east side, over on the east side of town, up on the Walnut Street area. And initially, we were trying to get it scheduled for 2024 in terms of the roadway restoration. All those roads will be repaved curb to curb. It kind of got cold fast, so we recognized pretty quickly that we would have to be putting those restorations off, right, which we announced previously. It just recently came up, and I'm kind of just putting this out there so that everybody's aware. Some of the utility companies they noticed that in the forecast it's a little bit warmer than usual, than what we've been dealing with, and they offered to pave them now. What we are recommending is that we don't do that. And I'm going to give you the reasons why, and I'm happy to field any criticism. The problem is both of these projects are multiple days of milling work, and with the weather being uncertain, you had a snow squall today, and then all of a sudden it was 40 degrees, and now it's feels like it's 20 degrees. If we get stuck with milled roads, it's going to be kind of disastrous over the winter. So what we'd like to do is wait for stretches of warmer, nicer weather where that asphalt will better adhere to the roadway, and you won't have the risk of having a milled road and then potentially months go by between milling and paving. It'll ultimately be a better product, and it'll be more certain that it'll get done with with less hazards and kind of less inconvenience to the residents. Although it'd be nice to have a newly paved road, it would only be nice if the whole job gets done, and I think we're fearful, I certainly am, that we won't be able to get that whole project done in short order. So Kevin, I don't know if you wanted to say anything.
No, the only thing I'll add to, I know the gas company has paving on Sooner Avenue, which is, it splits the town border with Union Township.
Sumner.
Sumner, sorry.
That's all right.
But we did have conversations with the gas company and with Union Township. That road, because it's split down, pretty much down the center line, it will be paved curb to center line.
Yes.
We did try to work it out with Union Township to see if they would have any trade-offs for their roads, to be able to pave it curb to curb, so that way you get one complete road. I know it's,
They never want to do that.
they tried, but they don't have any credits left with the gas company to do that. But they do intend to pave next spring. If something comes up, hopefully we can work out a trade and get the whole road paved, but as of right now, it stands, will be curb to just over the center line.
Appreciate that. And Mayor, thank you. I just wanted to note that for the governing body. In case you hear anything that we could have paved it, we could have if the weather conditions stay nice and warm. We doubt that, and we don't want there to be a major inconvenience over the winter months.
Yeah, frosty quick. Okay, thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
Rich?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So the Construction Code Office continues to move forward. We're exceedingly busy. So this report is for November. So in the month of November, we issued 146 permits. Total revenue through the end of November is $759,237. Sewer connection fees year-to-date, $510,749. COA development fee year-to-date, $103,424. Off-site improvement fee we received so far this year is $50,000. Total number of uniform construction code violations for the month of November was 8. I'm very pleased with that. The number has been dropping because we've been very proactively enforcing the regulations. Property maintenance enforcement, we had 17 court dispositions with fines year-to-date of $21,284. We had 10 violations issued for November and 9 court summonses. The projects are moving along quite nicely. 10 West Westfield Avenue, Building B, we are now proceeding with final inspections for electric and plumbing for Building B particularly. The parking garage, they are still working on that. They'll be working on the slab on grade. They came in with an amendment that I needed to approve for that. And also, there's something known as a wash. It's actually called a pour strip, a technical term, which locks the garage in place. So they will be proceeding with that, but the weather's been a little bit cold because pour strips, if you cross a bridge, and there you always see the statement, bridge freeze before roadway, it's the same thing. So they need to pour that in a little warmer weather to lock the garage in place. Once that's complete, they will finish the rough electric, and hopefully we can get the garage open before January. That's my hope. A bunch of projects moving along. A matter of fact, tomorrow we have HVAC inspections through the entire structure. So the inspector will be out there all day conducting that inspection. On the zoning side, we have one zoning completeness review that will be heard by the Development Review Committee next week for 7 Sheridan Avenue. It includes a D1, which is a use variance, and several C variances. It's for an addition, 2-story addition, for 5 apartments and 1 commercial unit. So with that stated, if anyone has any questions?
Yes, I have. Rich, thank you. I've been stalking Andrew for the past few days or month. I had a couple of residents reach out to me. Just wanted to update, if you could update me as well as the general public regarding the glass company and where they are in the process of completion. I know there was some worries about walls being weak over there and things of that nature by the residents in that surrounding that particular strip. And I just want to be able to go back to one of the residents and advise them all of these particulars, if you may.
Sure, certainly. So they were issued a demolition permit for the work you see occurring currently. They were also issued a violation about 3 months ago because the property was not fenced in as per the ordinance, which they completed. As far as the walls themselves, I received engineering certification from a professional engineer that the walls are adequate the way they currently stand. They will need to be retrofitted once they commence the construction project, which means those walls will need to be reinforced for the additional loads that will take place on top of those walls. That's dead load and live load. Now, while I was out, and as you know, I was out for about 2.5 weeks on a family matter, my covering inspector actually did issue a violation to them based off of an inspection by Mr. Alvarez, who works for the Department of Labor, and he's the asbestos inspector for the state of New Jersey. And when to use the term asbestos, I don't want to scare anybody, okay? There's no reason to scare anybody with this, because there's both friable and non-friable asbestos. In this case, when they were conducting their demolition, there was a little bit of mastic with the floor tile that needed to be properly remediated. It's very minor, very small, but we did issue a notice of violation for that, and they are now in the process of remediating that correctly. As far as the construction itself, they have not submitted plans yet for plan review for the project, even though the board did approve the project, I guess it was about, 6 or 8 months ago, if I remember correctly.
Just one other thing, Councilman, I know you mentioned that residents in that area noticed a slowdown of work. I think one of the things that Mr. Belushi is alluding to is, so I think it was November 18th that they were issued the notice of violation for the permit for asbestos remediation. That's also a stop work order.
That's correct.
Correct. So when they see a slowdown of work around that time and probably up until about now, it just stops work to ensure that the contractor is doing the right thing, getting the permits and a remediation professional.
Thank you.
So that may be one of the reasons why people are seeing a slowage of work on that project.
Okay, no worries. Just wanted to have an answer for them. That's all. Thank you.
Oh, also, you had a question, I think, about a month or two ago about the sanitary line,
Yes.
possibly a cross-connection with the property next door.
Yes. And do you know when they might televise that, or?
I've already directed them, they need to camera that line to verify that there is not a cross-connection.
There's not?
No, they haven't finished that
Oh, they have
yet.
to verify that.
They have to verify. That'll be part of our plan review for the
Got you.
for the renovation.
Thank you very much.
Rich, any update on the Little League field? They're still calling me about the netting. Is there going to be, or?
I have not heard a word. And again, I've been out for 2.5 weeks.
I
so,
understand that.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
But phone calls don't stop. They've
No,
been
and I
asking
didn't
me.
receive any phone calls or an email on it.
Yeah, they're.
They playing winter baseball.
No, they're afraid of the home runs, so I guess we're going to have some good baseball teams coming up and everything. But, yeah, they're concerned, because they were told they're unbreakable windows, which I said, no. I was told netting is
No,
going up.
they're not unbreakable windows.
Yeah, exactly, I know that.
It would be netting that would have to go up.
Okay,
And, yeah, I'll discuss that with the developer.
okay, I appreciate it. Let me know as soon as you find out.
Sure.
Anything else? Cool. Thanks, Rich. Andrew or Ken, do you guys have anything?
You want to go first?
Just a friendly reminder, the July 1st sewer bills are due, October 1st sewer bills are due at the end of this month without interest. So you only have until December 31st to pay that second installment without interest.
Can we post a media thing?
Yeah,
Yes,
good idea.
One more reminder?
Yep.
Thank you. I know it's redundant, but
Do a first alert, too.
thank you, thank you.
Sorry, Mayor.
for it.
Just a few things. So we're working through a bunch of year-out, closeout procedures and getting ready for the reorganization meeting. Some good news to note and just some ongoing things that are happening in the borough government. We submitted for a $220,000 drawdown of our Year 50 CDBG grant. That was the work that was conducted on Grant Avenue from Locust Street, and some of the work spilled all the way over to Union Road. So That's good. The work is substantially completed, all but the final closeout, and we are pending the $220,000 reimbursement from the county. We did get some good news for work that will be slated for next year. Improvements to Pershing Avenue. The DOT informed us that we were awarded a fiscal year 2025 grant of $374,868 toward that project. The balance will need to be budgeted for in the 2025 capital budget, so that's a good chunk of money to save the taxpayers locally. We were also notified today of a first of its kind for us, a $500,000 Bikeways grant. This grant would
I forgot we applied.
would support. Well, it's been quite a while. I mean, usually we hear about this in the beginning of November. So it will go toward improvements of the existing bike path and support the extension of the existing bike path to create more bikeways, which is a good thing. Just a couple other ongoing projects. So Boy Scout Park project, Councilman, as I alluded to in some of my emails, Councilman Rabina, I know this is a project near and dear to you. This project was significantly delayed because of the shade structure, the gazebo, the steel shade structure. It was supposed to be delivered by middle of October. It was not. It's getting delivered on Monday. And that delay also delayed the site work, which is mostly concrete for that project. So permits are currently pending with the construction department for footings and foundations, and we expect those permits to be issued in short order, and the work will begin next week. It should be a pretty quick project, but we'll keep everybody in the loop. Something else, not really top of mind, but we've spoke about it. Valley Road, because there's a concrete subbase on Valley Road, there were some surface level cracking that occurred on Valley Road since it was redone a few years ago. Those cracks are actually going to be sealed starting tomorrow by one of our vendors. There's going to be no additional monies encumbered for that, which is a good thing. And hopefully that will preserve the roadway for many more years. And the Avon Street and Berwyn Street project is underway. Again, there will be no paving this year for the same reasons that I mentioned about the utility roadway restorations. It's just simply too cold to guarantee a good product. But concrete is happening. Concrete can happen. At least this type of work can happen no matter what the weather is. So right now they're working through sidewalks and curbing currently on Avon Street, and then they'll move over to Berwyn Street. And that is all I have for now, Mayor. Thank you.
Any questions for Andrew? Okey dokey. May I have a motion to accept the reports of departments as submitted?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Please read ordinance number 2796 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2796 is an ordinance for second reading and public hearing, an ordinance fixing the salary ranges of clerical group employees of the Borough of Roselle Park in the County of Union, State of New Jersey for the years 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028, and 2029.
May I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance number 2796?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody like to come up and speak on ordinance number 2796? You may do so now. I'm seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance number 2796?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 2796?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Councilman Signorello?
Yep.
Councilman Rabina?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons?
Yes.
Councilman Patel?
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is adopted.
Okay. Mr. Clerk, please read ordinance number 27. Did I say 2797? I said 2797?
You didn't say anything yet.
Okay. Sorry. 2797 by title?
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2797 is an ordinance for second reading and public hearing, an ordinance amending Chapter 7, Section 39, Subsection 2 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Handicap Parking on Streets for Private Residences.
That's why I'm struggling, because this is ordinance. May I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance number 2797?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Would anybody like to come and speak on this ordinance? I'm seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance number 2797?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 2797?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Nice. Call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Councilman Signorello?
Yes.
Councilman Rabina?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons?
Yes.
Councilman Patel?
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is adopted.
Moving right along. Please read ordinance number 2798 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2798 is an ordinance for second reading and public hearing, an ordinance fixing the salaries of school crossing guard Association employees of the Borough of Roselle Park and the County of Union, State of New Jersey for the years 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028, and 2029.
May I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance number 2798?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Would anybody like to come up and speak on ordinance number 2798? I'm seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance number 2798?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 2798?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Robina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is adopted.
Please read ordinance number 2799 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2799 is an ordinance for second reading and public hearing, an ordinance amending Chapter 2, Article 4 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Administration, Boards, Committees, and Commissions, establishing a new Section 36 entitled Shade Tree Committee.
May I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance number 2799?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Would anybody like to come up and speak on 2799? I'm seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance number 2799?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 2799?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion? I would just like to say, if anybody knows anybody who's interested in this committee, please let me know. I think it's going to be an important one going forward, and we will save some trees. Any further discussion? Call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Robina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is adopted.
Okay, please read ordinance number 2800 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2800 is an ordinance for introduction, an ordinance amending Chapter 4, Section 11, Subsection 2 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Local License Required.
May I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2800 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as December 19th, 2024? Is
So move.
Second.
there any discussion?
Can we give a synopsis on it?
Greg, Andrew, who wants to?
no problem.
Yep.
Just since it's mine anyway.
Yep.
My thought process behind this is basically, even though I voted yes initially for this outcome, one thing about good government and public administration is listening to the people, shareholders, etc. So after allowing the process to play itself out, now it just makes sense for us just to remove one of the licenses. I didn't want to go too far because I want to stay away from some legality concerns that the other ones that are already fully approved. But since the one cannabis MD has been denied by the Municipal Land Use Board, it just makes sense to facilitate this process and to close that up altogether. And therefore, next year, no one won't have a second bite at the apple. It's done. So we want to lower the process to 2 licenses, and this is all lawful, all legal, and all in good faith for me listening to you, the residents in the area. So that's it.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thank you, Councilman.
So, you say 2 has been approved already, or
So we already voted on 3. We're just lowering it to 2
Yeah, so
just application-wise?
for Class 5 only. So any retail will be lowered to 2. So there's not going to be a third.
Yeah, I get that.
I
It's
think
just-
what the councilman's asking is how many actually got approved this year.
Yeah,
So
as far
it's
as
2, yeah.
2
So
have
the
been approved.
expanded license from medical to mixed use over at Breakwater, and then, I forget the name of the applicant, but the Wells Fargo one are the 2 that got approved. So going forward, there will only be 2, right? So those guys have their 2 licenses. If one of them goes out of business, we could revoke it down to 1, or we could issue a license somewhere else, but from now until another governing body changes it, it'll be a max of 2, and honestly, all we'll have to do for those 2 is just whether or not we re-award them every year. Does that make sense?
The Wells Fargo one, it's already been approved and everything, or
It's been approved by the Land Use Board, yes.
land use board, but has to come back to us?
No.
Does not. We already issued a license. So the license is conditional on the Land Use Board approval. So if they got rejected from the Land Use Board, then we could put it down to 1.
And the way the licensing process works, the way it was laid out was anyone who was given a conditional license was given a year to obtain their approvals, right? It was conditioned on land use approvals and obviously Cannabis Regulatory Commission approvals at the state level. If they didn't attain those approvals, they no longer had any approval from the municipality to have a license. They no longer had a right to a license. So those two entities had made it through their conditional period. Now, once you're through that conditional period, you then have a year to operate your license, right? So now they have a year from now until next December.
So 2025, 2026 season, they'll need to
Right,
get.
they will need to submit.
Assuming they're in good standing.
Right,
and-
an application, fee, a reapplication fee for a renewal.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Further discussion? Please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman
no.
Johnson. Councilman Signorello.
Because it's not.
Hold on, what happened? I'm sorry, I didn't even.
Yeah, we've had this discussion many times. There's a public discussion on the second reading for an ordinance, and at the end of the meeting, you were also allowed to speak at the beginning of the meeting, not now, okay?
So Councilman Petrosky was yes. I have Councilman Johnson as yes. Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Rabina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
Okay, please read ordinance number 2801 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2801 is an ordinance for introduction, an ordinance fixing the salaries of Police Supervisory Officers Association employees of the Borough of Roselle Park in the County of Union State of New Jersey for the years 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028, and 2029.
May I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2801 for introduction and fix a date for second reading and public hearing is December 19th, 2024?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion? I just want to, Andrew, this is kind of a formality based on the SOA approval or SOA contract that we approved, right?
Well, so these are the SOA salary guides,
Okay, got
right?
it.
So the SOA are the Superior Officers Association, and it's called different things, but there's the PBA and the SOA. They're all
We voted on.
the PBA.
Did we vote on the agreement yet with them?
You will be.
Oh, okay, it's a reso?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the ratifying the memorandum of agreement is a resolution, and setting the salaries is a ordinance which requires 2 readings.
Got it, okay. Any questions from council? Okay, seeing none, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Rabina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
Please read ordinance number 2802 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2802 is an ordinance amending ordinance number 2792, fixing the salary ranges of non-union employees and officials of the Borough of Roselle Park in the County of Union, State of New Jersey.
May I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2802 for introduction and fix a date for second reading and public hearing as December 19th, 2024?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Rabina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
Okay, all matters listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the council and be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the governing body so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda as part of general orders. Andrew, please read all resolutions by title.
Yes, Mayor. Resolution 28624 is adopting amendments to the bylaws of mayor and council. Resolution 287 is repealing resolution number 27124, setting the salaries of clerical group employees of the Borough of Roselle Park for years 2025, 26, 27, 28, and 29. Resolution 28824 is setting the salaries of clerical group employees of the Borough of Roselle Park for years 2025, 26, 27, 28, and 29. Resolution 28924 is terminating the employment of Class II laborer Eric T. Kennedy. Resolution 29024 is approving a collective bargaining agreement between the Borough of Roselle Park and the Roselle Park Supervisors Group SOA for the period January 1, 2025 through December 31st, 2029. Resolution 29124 is setting the salaries of non-union employees and officials of the Borough of Roselle Park for calendar year 2025. Resolution 29224 is setting the salaries of a deputy emergency management coordinator and farmers market coordinator of the Borough of Roselle Park for calendar year 2025. Resolution 29324 is authorizing the holdover of expiring appointments until the 2025 reorganization of mayor and council. Resolution 29424 is authorizing a $15,000 increase to the professional services contract with Cleary, Giacobbe, Alfieri, and Jacobs LLC as borough attorney for the year 2024, reflecting a revised contract amount not to exceed $81,000. Resolution 29524 is authorizing a $5,000 increase to the purchase order with Colliers Engineering and Design, Inc., as borough engineer for the year 2024, reflecting a revised contract amount not to exceed $65,000. Resolution 29624 is authorizing appropriation transfers. Resolution 29724 is authorizing the shared services agreement with the Roselle Park School District for a special law enforcement officers program. Resolution 29824 is authorizing the tax collector to issue a prorated refund of third and fourth quarter 2024 property taxes for 219 Pershing Avenue, Block 1101, Lot 6, in an amount of $3,032.26 pursuant to 100% disabled veterans property tax exemption. Resolution 29924 is authorizing the tax collector to issue a refund of duplicate payment of fourth quarter 2024 property taxes on 146 West Westfield Avenue, Block 609, Lot 7 of the municipal tax map in the amount of $3,824. Resolution 300-24 is accepting the resignation of Zahir K. Bass from the position of Community Center Clerk. Resolution 30124 is appointing Shirley J. Uristi to the position of Community Center Clerk and member of the Community Center Events and Activity Staff. Sorry, Shirley. Resolution 30224 is granting permission to the Roselle Park Youth Baseball and Softball League to operate a social affair permit granted by the New Jersey Division of Alcoholic Beverage Control in Michael J. Morey Park as part of the Borough of Roselle Park's 2024 Winter Market.
Okay. Councilman Patel has requested 289 to be pulled. Are we pulling anything else?
300.
300? Yes, sir.
292, I'll be abstaining.
Okay. All right. May I have a motion to approve the resolutions remaining on the consent agenda?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. May I have a motion to adopt resolution 289-24?
So move.
Second.
Do I entertain discussion on this, or we already discussed in publics, or in
You
closed
just have to
session?
keep it within the parameters of the confidentiality of closed session.
I mean, council folks, if there's anything you'd like to say, but obviously there was a rice notice given. The employee was asked that personnel issues would be discussed in closed. So if you want to make any comments or have any discussion, be very, very privy or be very, very careful with what you say.
Yeah, my concern would be this would lead us into a lawsuit, and we have quite some lawsuits, and I don't feel voting for a termination. There has to be some other way. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. Further discussion? Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
No.
Councilman Signorello?
Yes.
Councilman Rabina?
Abstaining.
Councilwoman Lyons?
Yes.
Councilman Patel?
No.
That's 3 in the affirmative, 2 in the negative, 1 abstention. The resolution is adopted.
May I have a motion to adopt resolution 292-24?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
This is just
Just
conflict of
abstain,
interest,
yeah.
I believe,
Okay,
right?
call the roll.
Hold on, let me just get my marks here. Councilman Petrosky?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Councilman Signorello?
I apologize.
We're on the one that you pulled.
I'm
You're abstaining.
abstaining.
Just abstaining.
Councilman Rabina?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons?
Yes.
Councilman Patel?
Yes.
5 votes in the affirmative, 1 abstention. The resolution is adopted.
May I have a motion to adopt resolution 300-24?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Abstain.
Yep. Call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson is abstaining. Councilman Signorello?
Yes.
Councilman Rabina?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons?
Yes.
Councilman Patel?
Yes.
5 votes in the affirmative, 1 abstention. The resolution is adopted.
Okay. Reports of Borough Council/committees. Start off with Councilman Signorello.
I have no report.
Okay. Councilman Johnson?
No. Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Council, residents. I just want to, a special heartfelt condolences goes out to Paul DeVito and his family during this hard time. I have my deepest sentiments. I'm going to leave that rest of it to Joe P. He does a better job with and knows him longer. I just wanted to say that in my report before I begin. On November 22nd, I received, I was actually stoked about this. I received a certification of completion for a course given at the New Jersey League of Municipalities from the State of New Jersey Office of Emergency Management for the successful completion of NIMS. What is NIMS? National Incident Management Systems for senior elected officials. I'm just humbly grateful for the opportunity to learn and digest and eventually give back to our Roselle Park community regarding what I've retained during this time, if ever necessary, So I'm very appreciative of the certification. On November 26th, Jay Rabina, Councilman, me, Mayor Andrew, and borough professionals had a follow-up meeting. I think it went pretty well. I think for the most part, we are all on the same page, and I'm just hoping that Andrew could formulate something to NJDOT regarding those things before we eventually bring this back to council to deliberate. So, thank you, Andrew. I hope you got some work to do. Also,
You guys gave me direction.
also, I wanted to mention that work on Avon and Berwyn, such as sidewalks, curbing, and aprons, are currently being worked on. I know there's going to be stopping soon. We're not going to complete the whole project this year. The rest of it will be completed next year. But I am glad to see progress in infrastructure and revitalization. We were able to do so as a community through persistence, dedication, advocacy, grant assistance, and your tax dollar going to work for you. My apologies in advance if any snafus or mistakes occur to not your liking or the community's liking. As much as I would love for a project to be flawlessly completed, unfortunately, some concerns that are valid were inadvertent in nature from my understanding. All in all, I want what's best for the all the streets and roadways in my ward, let alone the overall borough as well, which is why I initiated this project back when I first was elected into office, because not to pick on any of past administrations, but sewers and infrastructure projects, improvements, maintenance was barely being invested in from past administrators. Nevertheless, I am hopeful the end results will make Roselle Park commuting a little safer and aesthetically pleasing for all, if not majority, to enjoy. Thank you. At this time, I wanted to mention, before I end, that I had a great opportunity to spend time with my family this past Thanksgiving weekend. I just wanted to wish, and I hope all residents too enjoyed their Thanksgiving holiday as well. Roselle Park, I don't know about you, but I'm extremely looking forward towards spending time over the holiday seasons with loved ones, friends, and the community. So I'm wishing you guys, residents, all a Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday season to all observed holidays your families celebrate in good old diverse Roselle Park. I will continue to advocate hard for you. If you need to get in contact with me, please email me at gjohnson@roselle.park.net, or you can contact me at 908-303-1519. Oh, and before I forget, Andrew, one other concern, sorry to put one more thing on your plate, but on 130 Galloping Hill Road, there's a tree trunk there that's been there for a while. I would like you to add that or expedite trying to resolve getting that mitigated and for completion and removal. If you need, Mayor, I believe that concludes my report.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Petrosky, oh,
And no, I'm saying, and I got it.
I'll email you too.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. First of all, I want to send condolences out to Paul DeVito. God bless you.
Bless you.
He was an employee with us at the DPW. Before that, he worked for the County of Union, which was where I got to meet him, and became good friends with him. And that, like I said, he could drive that backhoe, I think, better than anyone I've seen. And he had a lot of knowledge, good guy, and everything. I had the privilege of coaching two of his sons in baseball, and again, all the support. And when first found out he had the brain cancer, it really was emotional for me, and and everything. And I received a phone call the Sunday before he passed, and our councilman at large was there also. And I was asked to come up and basically say goodbye to him. And again, very emotional, and you could tell he was very loved. there were so many people at the hospital. It was amazing. His friends that he grew up in Kenilworth, and, there was Roselle Park people and everything. And, again, it really hit bottom and everything like that. And I attended the funeral. Mayor, thank you. Councilman Lloyd, thank you for coming to the funeral on Saturday.
I believe Roseanne was also at the wake, I saw you.
Yeah, she was at the wake.
Yeah,
I'm only saying funeral.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. To basically say goodbye to the family and everything. And again, Paul was he will definitely be missed and everything like that. And also Joe Dorello, he was a 1969 graduate of Roselle Park High School. He excelled in football, wrestling, and baseball. If you remember last year at this time, in December of '23, we honored him for being inducted into the Hall of Fame for a referee in South Jersey. So, it's hard to believe a year later and he's gone. So, I found out today, actually. Like I said, I remember as a young kid growing up, that's all you heard, Joe Dorello, and he was a great athlete and everything like that. And so he definitely will be missed. On November 27th, I attended the Thanksgiving football game over in Roselle. Yes, the game was played Wednesday night instead of the traditional Thanksgiving morning. Roselle does not want to play on Thanksgiving morning, so they were the home team, so we had to play Wednesday night, and Roselle Park did not look good, and everything. It wasn't a good game, so put it that way.
Love the honesty.
We didn't look good. Okay, December 2nd, I attended the fire department meeting, and as usual, I got the work orders that they were looking to finish out. Okay, again, I want to thank all the workers that came down to help the American Legion. Like I said, we're going to try to fix the place up. Again, Dalfo, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Like I said, for 2 years, I heard nothing, but we're going to take care of it. I got sick of hearing, I said, why we keep talking about it? Let's get it done. And I made one phone call, and we got it done. And like I said, right now, the steps are done. The front of the building is painted. They're willing to come back. They all told me when it comes to vets, they'll do anything in the world for them. So I'm sure within the next year, we're going to get a lot of stuff done down there. But I appreciate all their help and everything. And fortunately, Hunter's Supply couldn't make it today. Again, they're over on First Avenue in Locust. Again, they donated all the brick. They donated all the limestone, and they also donated cement. And, and also Cypristine, who couldn't make it either. So there's more to come, because like I said, we mentioned the flooring company. The floors were donated. We're going to have them come in. I'm hoping the railings get put on next week, like I was told, and we'll bring them in eventually. But, I really, like I said, I know, Councilman Johnson, you always like, we needed them, and they need us now. So I appreciate all the help, and if you can help them out, they could definitely use the help. If you need me, get a hold of me. You can get me at jpetrosky@rosellepark.net, 908-666-7821, and that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Lyons?
Good evening, Mayor and Council and residents of Roselle Park. Again, definitely such a loss for the town. Paul DeVito, he, every time I saw him, he stopped and talked and smiled, and we talked about so many things. So, our hearts are definitely with the family. And as being a small town, we all feel it. So we're definitely broken over him. On a positive note, I am so excited for Post 60. That was just such a beautiful thing, and how to start. It is such a beautiful thing to see that they gave that way and for working together. And I really pray that for Roselle Park, that days ahead, that we can do other things. It's powerful when we do come together in unity. and really do some positive things. So I'm hoping to see that in the recent weeks, and in 2025, we can focus on that and working positively together. I just wanted to point out the awesome lights that are up in on Chestnut Street, and just coming down. If you didn't get to see them, just drive down. It's beautiful to see. And for future dates, this Saturday from 4 to 8, and Saturday and Sunday, we are going to have the winter market, but we are having our annual Christmas tree lighting on Saturday. So please come out for that. That's such a beautiful event every year. And then on December 15th, we have Santa's Parade of Lights, so 7 p.m. will definitely just bring the town again together on that. But just stay encouraged and stay together as much as you can. And if you need me at rlyons at rosellepark.net or 908-726-8773.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Patel?
Good evening. My condolences to the DeVito family. Rest in peace, Paul. We'll miss you. I don't have much report, so if you need to get a hold of me, please email me at kpatel@rosellepark.net. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Rubino?
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Roselle Park. Mayor, my report tonight will be brief. One page. What? Yeah, it's a surprise. Well, Borough Administrator Casais teed it up during his report. He mentioned the borough received exciting news today. We've been awarded the 2025 NJDOT Bikeways Grant in the amount of $500,000. This grant will be used to expand and improve the borough's existing path. A big thank you to all stakeholders, including our special project engineers at Neglia for their hard work on this application. Recently, we've seen incidents of pedestrians being struck by vehicles, underscoring the need for continued investment in safety. This grant will help ensure the safety of pedestrians and cyclists, connecting our residents and students to schools, parks, downtown, and transit. Over the past 3 years, we've laid the groundwork for trails and open spaces, and we look forward to seeing these projects come to life in the next 3 years. Next, the long-anticipated renovations at Boy Scout Park, located in the 5th Ward, are expected to begin next week, as B.A. Casais also mentioned. On Tuesday, November 26th, I participated in a Route 28 safety meeting with Councilman Johnson, B.A. Casais, Chief Reno. We discussed traffic patterns and safety measures aimed at protecting all road users in our community. We advocated for more signage and infrastructure improvements to help calm traffic speeds. Our engineers will review the suggestions and share their recommendations with the DOT. As we enter the first week of December, and we've already seen some snow squalls, please be winter ready. I encourage folks to prepare for snow removal, take the time to warm up your cars, make sure not to drive with frost on your windshield, use caution while walking on frosty mornings to avoid slips and falls, and be sure to check in on elderly neighbors. As we embrace the holiday season, I also encourage you to support our small businesses and dine locally as we come together to celebrate. And finally, I want to offer my heartfelt condolences to the family and friends of Paul DeVito. One of the many fond memories I have of Paul is from when he worked on the removal of hazardous dead trees along Valley Road and Beechwood Ave. Paul was at the helm of the backhoe. He shared with me his experience from his time working in the Union County Parks Department, an experience he was proud to bring to the borough. He was an expert at handling heavy equipment, something many of us dreamed of doing as children. With a smile on his face, I could tell Paul loved what he did. Paul was a kind and genuinely good man. He will truly be missed. My thoughts and prayers are with his family, and may he rest in eternal peace. As always, please feel free to reach out to me, jrubine at rosellepark.net, 862-236-0019. Mayor, Roselle Park, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman. Yeah, I just want to echo the council's thoughts. Paul DeVito was a good friend and a great employee, and we're heartbroken over his sudden passing. My thoughts go out to the DeVito family. We've known them for a very long time, and it's very sad passing, and we'll all miss him. Other than that, looking forward to seeing everybody at the Christmas and holiday events. Mayor Sig at rosellepark.net if you have any questions. May I have a motion to open the public portion on any subject?
So move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, it's just a reminder, so you can, if you want to talk about something on the agenda, you're allowed to come to the public, the first one too. So the first one's for anything on the agenda. Don't start our clock yet. First one's for anything on the agenda, second one is for whatever, and then the second reading of an ordinance, you're allowed to speak as much as you want.
Okay.
Yep.
So there's a couple of related items, based on.
Oh, sorry, name and address just for the record.
Oh, sorry, Hannah Antonson, 216 Bender. Regarding ordinance 2800, there were two things. First, did Cannabis MD LLC reapply? I know the ordinance 2800 says there's only going to be 2 licenses. That's one question.
Yep.
The next one has to do with the Cannabis Review Board meeting that I saw was posted in Union News Daily on November 25th. I did not see any notice of that meeting ahead of time. I mean, the article was basically nobody showed up. Also, I don't see any mention in 2800 of manufacturing applications, but apparently there's an open application period from November 30th to December 30th.
Yes.
For multiple cannabis manufacturing licenses.
So, first thing is on the 2800.
So they can't reapply. This
Yeah.
kills it. This done.
Cannabis MD, but now,
Cannabis
But
MD is
they
done.
they have not reapplied,
Okay.
right? So
And
they
they
can,
can't.
they can and they have
okay,
not.
so that's one. What about these cannabis manufacturing licenses?
Yeah, so we meet once a year as the Cannabis Review Board. It's the way the ordinance is set up.
Where was there notice of that meeting?
Andrew?
It said it was a public meeting, but I
Yeah,
mean,
so it was sent to the newspapers. It was put on social media, I believe. It was posted just as the same as every other special meeting, similar to the DRC meeting.
it wasn't on rosellepark.net. We've got the
I
app.
couldn't-
There's a group of us. We all have the app. I asked while you were in closed session, I asked every person here, were they aware of this meeting? And these are people who are showing up to council
Sure,
meetings.
I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just telling you, so the way that we've noticed the Cannabis Review Board meetings is the same as we would notice a special meeting of the governing body.
I mean, there was a 4.5-hour meeting for the Land Use Review Board on the 18th, and a number of us have repeatedly come to these meetings. You didn't think it was appropriate to announce you were having your annual Cannabis Review Board meeting that was open to the public?
I mean, we put it online. We put the applications online.
It wasn't on
Please,
rosellepark.net.
if you want a response, I'll give you a response. If you want to talk over me, you can. It's up to you. It's your time.
Go ahead.
The fact of the matter is there has been outrage, uproar, upset people about Class 5 medical marijuana or Class 5 distribution or retail. I believe we are beholden as a town to at least give people the opportunity to apply for the remaining licenses, right? We have no idea what we're going to get. There's nothing planned there. If somebody wants to apply, they have the chance every year to apply. It's in our ordinance.
The article was read in such a way that it seemed like there already was an application, that it was open for
There is no
more
application. All we did during the meeting was we ratified the way the application looks and said, this is what the application looks like. It looks the same as it did last year. And we set up a time frame for the applications, which I think the time frame is up soon. Is that correct?
I believe it's December 20th.
So you have a month.
And the application period was open for a singular manufacturing license.
So is there currently an open
Nobody-
manufacturing license? Oh,
There is currently an application period opened where there will be consideration for one applicant. If anyone applies, I can tell you as of this date, no one has applied.
Okay, so the article read, 2 retail cannabis stores were approved last year. 1 is pending from Wednesday, November 20th through Friday, December 20th. They are accepting applications for more manufacturing buildings, which would take the raw product for industrial use and selling to retail dispensaries.
So we are accepting, if somebody wishes to apply, we will consider one application. But if we get an application, then that is an if, then the Cannabis Review Board will meet again in the new year. But that's only if we don't get an application, there's no big reason for us to meet. And then,
Another request I have is I'm able to
Finish the
sign up
question.
to get email notification of the agendas for the council meeting.
sure.
Would the board or the Cannabis Review Board also have a sign up so that the public can get emails in advance of the date of the meeting, if there's a special meeting, and the agenda?
So you're over your time, but I will, Andrew, is this something we can, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And happy holidays.
Yeah.
All right. Happy holidays to you.
But just to be abundantly clear, so we are, I don't want to say beholden, but I believe in good faith, once a year, we meet to set up the application process because it is an approved use in Roselle Park. If we didn't set up some application process, I'm not a lawyer, but I think it'd be problematic if we did not
The
do
way you
that.
set it up is that on an annual basis, you have an initial meeting to open up, and whether or not
We get any
you receive anything will then determine whether or not you have another one.
Yeah.
Currently, based upon the way the ordinance that's introduced that will be heard at the next meeting, the total number available would be 2 for retail
Class five,
license.
yep.
Class 5s. There are 2 already approved, so no additional ones, even if an application came in, they would be beyond the number.
That was the
And
purpose
there
of
would
this.
be no hearing on that because they wouldn't accept an application for a non-license.
And could I just, I'm sorry, Councilman, if I could just add one thing for the governing body and the public. We don't, unlike other municipalities, we do not allow rolling applications of cannabis licenses, right? There's not an open application period where anyone can apply at any time. It has to be a set period of time that is published like a bid for these licenses to be applied for. And believe me when I say, I get a lot of inbound, and I wouldn't say every day or even every week, but people asking about, hey, can I apply? What's this about? And they're often told by my office, no.
I get requests.
There is no, the applications are not open. I can tell you, this application period was opened a couple weeks ago, and again, there's been no applications yet. So if the application period ends, I believe it's December 20th, and there's no applications, then there's nothing to do. There's no
Mayor,
interest.
If I may?
Sure, yeah.
Also, I wanted to add that we did create an ordinance to add one of the respective council members to become a member on the Cannabis Review Board. Since it was so late in the year, in the beginning of the year during reorg, one of us will be on that, so it should be able to be more transparent, that's all.
Yeah, but just look, if we can increase the communications for the last one, obviously we weren't hiding it because the news was there, right? But I think if there's one that you are interested in, the one where we were setting the dates for application, if this is something that you're against, would probably not allowed to talk. I'm allowed to talk. Okay. I apologize if you found it interesting to copy and paste the application, but that's what we did and we set the time frame. I would argue that for people who are against cannabis, it would be much more interesting, in my opinion, to come to the one if there is any applications, which we don't know yet, and we have not received any applications to date. But we can give out further alerts. Right, Andrew?
Yeah, I mean, my suggestion would be anyone who receives an alert about the mayor and council meetings. I think there's a list of about 150 people
They
right
can get an
now,
alert for this,
and they
yeah.
can get an alert for any public meeting.
Yeah, it's fine. Easy. Okay, anybody else wish to come up and speak?
Adolfo de Cosmo, 531 Spruce Street. This is about the work being done on East Lincoln, the sewage. Do we have any update on what's going on?
Yeah, so I think he's talking about the scoping work and kind of the investigative work. Where?
Yeah, I don't have an update on that. I have a check-in call with Neglia over the next week or so, but I don't have an update other than that it's ongoing.
All right, so we don't know if the sewer was collapsed on East.
I haven't heard anything, so I would, if it was something of that nature, usually they tell me.
As I say, if there's something urgent, they would probably give us the heads up.
But they're working their way, like I alluded to at another meeting, so kind of up by that Lehigh Avenue area. They're working their way down toward Chestnut Street.
Yeah.
But I should have a better update in a couple weeks.
They've been on East Lincoln for about a week already, so I was wondering if.
I'm sure it's probably, if they're there for a week, maybe they're found something.
Well, I was going to say, candidly, that's probably the more problematic space, right? Right. Once you hit East Lincoln, you live there. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you live
always
there.
get
Yeah,
fly
but I'm
up
just
there.
saying, like, it's obviously of interest to you, but it's of interest to the town because that's kind of where the problems start, and that's where we see the weak point.
So we'll know about.
I'm gonna have a call tomorrow just to see where we are, and I'll have more information in the next couple of days.
That'd be great. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think it'd be helpful also, once we get something, maybe we could just have a short presentation here or something like that. Have Neglia come in, talk about it. I'll give you the heads up when they come in.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Anybody else? I'm seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public portion?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.